can you do a deeper dive into the common point philosophy and what it's about? And so I'm going to try to do that on this video. It's not a complicated philosophy, but it's there's a lot to know. Okay, which is the best way I can explain that. First of all, common point is about being connected to what I call source. Source is not a religious thing. It's not energy. It's not spirit. It's not any of the things you think about. If you were to look at my hand and say, okay, I'm looking at a hand, that's fine. You're looking at my hand. But in my hand is source. And in the atmosphere is source. This is my belief, okay? This is what's in my book. So if the source is everywhere, okay, let's say it's in every living thing. And also in common point, everything is alive. So not just, me, the trees, the water's alive. The earth is alive. The atmosphere is alive. So if everything's alive, then it's all connected to source. All right? Follow me on this. So, as I was saying earlier, it's not a spiritual thing. It's not a religious thing. It's not energy, but source can create energy. And source can create anything that you want to create. So let's say, as an example, you want to be a better athlete, and you want to go work out in the gym, and you go in there and you start working out, and you don't see any outcome, but you're working hard and you're just not focused. Okay, so what you can do in the common point philosophy, there's a process called common point immersion, and there's six levels, not five, 6 levels of state that I talk about in common point immersion. So let's say let's use me as an example. Okay, I'll go in the gym. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm lifting weights. Okay, so I just start. I'm literally just there. I'm mentally and physically just walked in the door. I'm standing in front of the mirror, and I'm trying to get into the state. Okay, and the first state of common point immersion would be lift. Okay. And when I say lift, I'm not talking about this heavy, it's not a big thing. It's just like a light lift. It's sort of like if you were to look at somebody and you admire them, you feel a lift. It's sort of like if you felt happy about something, you feel kind of a little bit of lift. It's a connection. Okay, so when I'm looking in the mirror and I'm doing my barbells, okay, and I start to feel that lift. I'm there. I am now there in that space. Okay, in that essence, that space, in that source. Okay, follow me on this. So now you go from lift, and then you start. You get more in. I'm getting more into my workout, right? I'm getting more into my workout. Now I'm starting to feel good about it. Now I'm really focused, more intent on what I'm doing, and that brings a breakthrough. And it's not like this big giant phenomenon. I mean, it can be, but with what I'm doing, the activity that I'm doing, it's just a subtle breakthrough that I realize what I'm doing and that I am connected to what I'm doing. That's the breakthrough. So from that state, level 3 is clarity. Clarity is when I'm looking in the mirror and I'm doing my workout, and I know in my mind that, hey, this feels good. I'm clear on what I'm doing. I'm right on what I'm doing. I'm set with what I'm doing. I'm seeing the results of that. And so with clarity comes certainty. And certainty is the absolute, without a doubt, that I am nailing this. I am working out. Look at me. I'm getting cut. I'm getting abs. I'm getting muscles. And I'm really certain about that. Okay? So then the next level from that would be progress, which is number 5 on the list on the level. So number 5 would be progress. And progress is meaning that you can look back in your mind and look at yourself physically and see the progress that you have made. And by seeing progress, it gives you that enlightenment, that knowledge to know that, you're doing well, okay? And the very last level of doing common point immersion would be rest. And I'm not talking about, you're going to go crash and sleep. It's just you rest the mind, you rest the body. Because with something like working out in the gym and lifting weights, you don't build muscle, you don't build anything, you don't create anything gray in your body until you rest. So when you rest, your body's rebuilding itself. So you go through that resting period. So those are the 6 states of common point immersion. So it's the lift. You go from lift, go to breakthrough, from breakthrough to clarity, from clarity to certainty, from certainty to rest. And it's really pretty simple. I mean, it sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple. And you can do this with anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your focus is. It doesn't have to be like what I'm using it for, like working out in the gym. Let's say I'm trying to find it. I use it playing the piano as an example in my book, which I talk more about this in length. I'm trying to think of another example. Let's say let's say you're in the kitchen and you're cooking, okay? And you want to reach that state of progress, right? So when you first get in there and you're just kind of you're noodling around, you're kind of getting your toes wet and your pots and pans out and your stuff that you want to do, you feel that bit of the like, I'm here, this is the lift, and I'm going to do my thing. And then you start cooking and you start seeing some progress and you have this breakthrough, like, oh wow, I can make this recipe and I can do that recipe and I can make it this way and that way. And there's the breakthrough, okay? And from the breakthrough, you go to number 3, which is clarity. I got this. I'm in the kitchen. My grandma said with a spoon, get out of the kitchen. I'm in control. I've got clarity in what I'm doing, and I've got focus in what I'm doing. And then that brings certainty, like, this is going to be a great meal. This is going to be phenomenal. I'm going to put this on the table and people are going to love it. And from that is progress. You've learned from that. You've gained from that. Not only did you learn from doing the process, but you gained more than knowledge. You gained, somebody thanking you for a good meal, somebody enjoying the process of them eating your meal, and seeing all the progress that comes from those levels, okay? And then when you're all done, what do? You rest. Your mind rests. Your body rests. It's really pretty simple, and it took me a while to really categorize the levels, but you can do it with anything. I know sometimes when I leave the gym, and maybe people driving by think I'm crazy, but I don't really care. They can think I'm crazy all they want. What I do is when I leave the gym and I'm done working out, as I'm walking around the building, there's this beautiful tree. It's a cypress tree. It's nice and with a fern, fuzzy fern, and it's growing right next to this fountain that they have out there by the by the gym. And I go up to the tree. I know it sounds crazy, but listen, hear me out. I go up to the tree, and this is another way of doing common point immersion with all these states. I will literally go there, and I'll just take the limb of the tree, the fern part of the tree, and feel it on my arm. And I'll close my eyes. And I just close my eyes, and I feel the tree on my arm. I can also smell the tree, the pine or whatever, the smell from the tree, the sort of a tree smell. And I get a lift. I get a lift that I am connected now to this tree. Because remember I said we are all connected with everything, completely connected. So as I'm connected to that tree, I get that lift, like there I am. And from that lift, I get a breakthrough, and I realize that I am not alone on this planet, and I am not above everything on this planet. I'm equal, or just with everything. We're all one. The tree, me, the universe, the smell, the breeze on me, the whole 9 yards. So then I'll get that breakthrough. And then that clarity will give me that this is so cool. this is so cool. I'm so clear on who I am and how I'm connected to the earth, connected to the tree. I feel the tree limb, and I also believe the tree can feel me. I know that sounds crazy, but like I said earlier, everything is alive. Everything's alive. So I go from that clarity to certainty, like, I got this. This is so cool. This is amazing. I'm just being one with this environment, with this element, with this essence of this tree. Okay? And then from there, as I leave the tree, okay, and I take my hand away and I walk away, I realize how important that tree is, how important all life is, not just human life. And that gives me that fifth state of the common point states. That fifth state is progress. Like I'm gaining the knowledge, I'm gaining the progress, I'm gaining the wisdom and the enlightenment from that process. And then I can rest. And then I can go on my day and have that knowledge. And a lot of times when I do my workshops, I'll do a very, very simple version of common point immersion. I mean, then I talk about it in my book, Common Point. There is a million ways to do a common point immersion. There's not just one way. There's some guidelines, but there's just one way. And I will say to them, I will have them close their eyes. And I say, okay, I want to reach all 6 levels of state in common point immersion. And they go, okay, let's do this. And I'll have them close their eyes and I say, I want you to just feel your heart, feel your heartbeat. It's like an internal thing. Just feel your heartbeat and be in connection with that. And as you feel your heartbeat, you realize and you get that lift. You just, I'm alive. I'm so alive. I'm alive. And just being alive is just amazing. Okay? And that's that first step, that lift. And then you'll get clarity of who you are and where you are and your atmosphere and what you're doing, and you're clear about your body and the workings in your body, and you can feel yourself breathing and your heartbeat and the inner workings of this amazing machine that we are living, that we are encapsulated in, okay, which is our body, our essence. And from clarity to certainty, it's like, I got this. This is so cool. I mean, like, I feel great. I'm certain about everything. And then from there, you get progress. Progress is like, I'm moving on. I feel great about myself. And then we go into rest. And I say, open your eyes and just remember what you went through. Just feel that essence, that life flowing through your body. That's another example of common point immersion. I'm trying to think of one more before I stop this video or continue on or with another video. If I want to do one today, probably not. But I'm trying to think. Let's use travel as an example. Let's say you're traveling, you're driving in a car, and you're driving down the road, and your focus is you have a destination. And I talk about it in my book a lot. In order to be successful, focus on the outcome, not the journey, okay? All the journey is very important, but the outcome is what you need to focus on, no matter what you're doing. So if you always focus on the outcome, then your journey will be more enlightened, as they would say. So if you are driving, let's say you're walking. Let's say you're just walking on a path. You're walking on the path, and you are getting yourself in tune with that environment. It can be the trees. Let's say you're walking along a river. That would be a good example. You're walking along a river, and it's a rocky river, and you can hear the water, and you can hear the rushing of the water, and you can hear and all the stuff, and the breeze in the trees, stuff like that. So as you start, you'll start to feel that lift, that connection, like, wow, that's kind of cool. That sounds neat. That smells neat. That looks cool. There's the lift, and then you will go through that breakthrough. Like, I'm here. I'm not back at the office. I'm not driving. I'm not, arguing with somebody. I'm not talking with somebody. I am physically in state. I am physically, mentally in state. I am here. And that's your breakthrough. Then from the breakthrough, as you move forward and you keep walking along that babbling creek or that river, you start to get clarity. You start to notice things you never noticed before. You start to notice the fish. You start to hear the birds. You start to maybe see a deer, or maybe something as simple as, the grass under your feet. The most minute detail. You start really realizing and seeing these things when you go into clarity. And when you finally go into clarity, you go into certainty. Like, yeah, man, I'm loving this. This is amazing. I'm here. I'm in my environment. I'm part of this environment. This is amazing. There's nobody here to break my state. This is so cool. I am certain about this. And you can do this with anything. It doesn't matter what it is. You can do this when you're meditating. You can do this when you're trying to achieve something great, trying to see something simple. You can do it just as a simple practice every day, just to meet those levels. And what I would recommend you to do, if you want to, is write those levels down. Write those 6 levels down. Lift, breakthrough, clarity, certainty, progress, and rest. Write them down in that order. And when you're doing something as simple as, pick something really simple, you will actually start to see those different states. You'll actually start to feel them. And if you don't feel them right away, do it a couple of times. And eventually you'll start to notice those different states. And depending on what you're doing, I use a runner. I think I use a runner, like an Olympic runner in one of these examples in one of my other videos, where, when he bolts out, that's his lift, and then his breakthrough is he's halfway there and he can see where he's going, and then his clarity is knowing what he's doing, and then his certainty is knowing he sees the end game, he sees the end line, and then progress is when he's done and he's breathing heavy, he won the race, and he's like, okay, I progressed, I learned from it, I gained from it, I won, I'm there, and then he can rest. So there's a million different examples you could use. And I put a number of them in my book. And I hope this is clear to anybody that's watching the video. That doesn't sound like it's crazy. It has literally changed my life. And it's something that you can do anytime, anywhere, for any subject that you want to deal with. And so I just want to let you guys know that. And I'll talk more about what's in my book, Common Point. And this is definitely in chapter 5. And we can cover from there. I want to see on real quick on here. I think I got it all covered. These are my notes. I just wanted to make sure I'm not missing anything. But I usually never use notes, but I wanted to be clear in this. So thank you very much. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, back to the coffee cups. Yay. Actually, I'm coffee and a lot of milk. I said in one of my last videos, I'm going to keep saying this, the most important thing you ever have in life will be time. How you utilize your time is up to you. So, what I said, the most important thing you will ever get in life will be time. Love you guys. Check out my other videos. Oh, I should do this, huh? Like Bill Clinton. Nah, I'm playing. Check out my other videos. And if you do me a really big favor, if you go into the comment section and just write a brief comment. Say, hey, I really liked it. It really made sense, or it didn't make sense, or can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? That way will give me some more ideas for content that I can do in the future for you guys. I have plenty of stuff on my computer, my notes, on what I want to cover, but it's about you guys. It's not about me. My whole philosophy is not about me at all, and it's about you guys and sharing this with you. So if you have a subject you want to talk about, and I don't care what it is, it can be anything, and we'll try to cover it. Okay. Thank you very much, and love you. Thanks for watching my videos, and I will talk to you soon.